Let's talk about how to scale your Facebook ad campaigns following these 3 phases process. Hey everybody, Hernan Vazquez here. I'm the founder and CEO of ScaleDriven.com, and at ScaleDriven.com we help high-ticket coaches, service-based businesses, and entrepreneurs scale their ads and scale their funnels and get more leads and revenue. So if you want to learn more about what we do, head over to ScaleDriven.com and check it out. Now, with that being said, today I want to share with you guys our logic, our mindset when it comes to the different phases of a Facebook advertising campaign. Now, this can also be applied to a YouTube advertising campaign, a TikTok advertising campaign. I just happen to like Facebook a little bit more when it comes to dividing this in phases, because it will allow you to scale much faster depending on when you're at or where you're at in your advertising phase. The problem that I see that many entrepreneurs try to do is that they have different phases on advertising, and they have different mindsets that you need to have depending on your budget and depending how much data you have in your pixel, and they mix phases up. So that means that they are not able to scale, or they try to scale too fast, or they're not able to push enough volume to their campaign. So in this video, I want to show you guys the 3 phases that I've learned that help me scale pretty much any campaign, no matter how much we have to spend or no matter what type of data we have in the pixel. So here's the screen, and I put together this beautiful lucid chart, as you can see here. And what I want to share with you guys is the 3 phases or the 3 stages when it comes to advertising, okay? And this is a graphic that I did live for our coaching program and our coaching students and our top tier coaching students that they want to learn how to do it on their own, right? At ScaleDriven.com, we offer done-for-you services. So if you want to hire an entire marketing team, we can come in and help you do it. But also we have education, so if you want to learn how to do it yourself, we can walk you through the process. And every Tuesday we have our coaching call, and last Tuesday I went ahead and created this beautiful graphic, as you can see, when it comes to the 3 stages of a campaign. Now, the 3 stages of a campaign, they depend on what you're going to be focusing on, all right? And most importantly, how much money you're spending and how much data you have in the pixel. Because the data that you have in the pixel means a lot. And the more data you have in the pixel, the more of a successful campaign you can run. That's why I always tell my students, and for our clients, we implement this, but our students, I always tell them, you need to install a third-party tracking software like Hyros or AnyTrack or something like that, so that the pixel understands and gets correct data every single day. So the more data you have in your pixel, the more you can progress and the faster you can progress through these phases. So let's start with stage number 1. Stage number 1 is when you're starting a campaign from scratch, okay? When you run a campaign from scratch, when you just launch your first couple of ad sets, and it might be that your ad account is new, or this campaign is new, or maybe the funnel is new. So at the beginning, on stage 1 is on interest targeting, okay? Especially on Facebook, and this also applies to YouTube and some others like TikTok and Twitter. You're going to be doing a lot of interest targeting. And when it comes to interest targeting, you want to ask yourself, who is my ideal audience? Who I'm going to be targeting with these ads? Who I want them to see these ads, and what I'm going to show them, all right? So on stage 1, since you don't have a lot of data, you might have a lower budget, you're testing, you want to do a lot of interest targeting. So usually at Scale Driven, what we do is we start with 15, 20, 30 different interests, and we run 1 ad set per interest. Again, if you extrapolate this to YouTube, it might be different interests or different channels or different placements. On Twitter, you can do interests as well. On TikTok, you can do interest behaviors. So the stage 1, the first stage of a campaign is always going to be interest targeting. And at the same time, what we like to do is we like to use dynamic creatives on Facebook to test 5 to 10 different creatives, okay? And creatives is the combination of an image and copy. So we go ahead and target and do this interest targeting, but also we test creatives, okay? So at the beginning, as you can see, we're heavily focusing on the targeting side of things. We really need to go in deep and decide what is going to be our targeting, okay? So at the beginning of a campaign, you're you're going to be focusing a lot on targeting. Now, also at the beginning of a campaign, you will get the worst possible results ever. Why? Because Facebook, on this case, but it could be any platform, they do not know who to target. They're blind out there, and they're going to be collecting data, and you'll have the worst possible costs, you'll have the worst possible click-through rate, the highest cost per click, the highest CPM. Everything will happen at the beginning of a campaign. And again, provided that you are leveraging data, your results will get better and better and better through time. That is something that I tell clients at scale-driven.com. I tell them all the time, listen, at the beginning, your ads are going to behave really bad. They're going to have the worst possible results, but as we keep on spending and we keep on collecting data, results are going to be better because we're leveraging Facebook, on this case, machine learning. All right, so that's really important. So the more data you collect and the more spend you have in that ad account in your pixel, then you can move to stage number 2. Stage number 2 is once you have, I would say, at least 200 to 500 of anything, right? 200 to 500 clicks, 200 to 500 leads, ideally 200 to 500 purchases. Sometimes that's doable, sometimes it isn't, but you want to have at least 200 to 500 of everything, right? Or anything. So again, page visitors, it can be video views. If you're running a video ad, you can have video viewers, you can have engagers, like 200 to 500 of anything. It's initially a good point to start with stage number 2. And stage number 2, it's kind of in the middle of the whole spectrum, right? Stage number 2 is when we start doing lookalike targeting. Because again, once you have 200 to 500 of anything, you can create a lookalike audience of buyers, or you can create a lookalike audience of page visitors, or engagers, or people that watch and consume your content. So you can start creating lookalike audiences. Usually on Facebook, you know, it's 1% lookalike audiences. On YouTube, it might be similar audiences, but the same thing applies. Is that once you have enough data, and the more data, the merrier, right? You can start with 200, but I would suggest if you can get to 1,000 visitors, that would be even better. If you can get to 1,000, let's say, book calls, you can, you know, your lookalike audiences are going to be stronger. But that's the point. You start with interest targeting, and then you move into lookalike targeting. Okay, you move into lookalike targeting, and you want to do this transition as fast as possible, because now your lookalike targeting is going to help the pixel, it's going to help the machine learning a lot faster and a lot better. And then at the same time, we're still testing creatives, okay? Because originally we tend to use the same 5 to 10 creatives. If we have a couple winners, we might refresh creatives. But the main point is that we go from interest targeting to lookalike targeting so that we can have broader audiences, okay? And we stop paying attention that much to targeting, as you can see, and we start paying attention a lot more to creative. But the results at this point will start looking better. Your cost per lead will go down, your conversion rate should go up, and all of those things, okay? Because you start getting more and more data. And then the third stage is when you have higher budgets, you have a lot of data in the pixel, you have 1,000 purchasers, 2,000 purchasers, maybe 3,000 leads and whatnot. Then at that point, you can start kind of releasing control when it comes to targeting, okay? You can start asking the platforms, in this case Facebook, but it could be any platform, you can start asking that platform to go broader and broader and broader and broader, okay? So I think the best type of campaign that you can run once you have enough data and once you have higher budgets, it's what I call no targeting campaign. We do this for many clients. We do this for clients at Scale Driven where we don't target anyone. We just let the pixel decide, and it will still go out there and find us buyers and find us leads and find high quality calls and whatnot, because we have fed it with so much data, okay? So the more you spend and the more data you get, you can go with larger and larger audiences and larger budgets and let Facebook, in this case, optimize, okay? Now, with that being said, as you can see, I start having better results, and at this point, between stage 2 and stage 3, you will notice that the campaign kind of equalizes when it comes to results, okay? You will find a floor when it comes to cost per lead, cost per purchase, and that's kind of your benchmark, okay? And once you start scaling, I do expect your cost to go back up. But if you think about it, this is what we did. We started with really bad results right here, right? At stage 1, we started with really bad results, and then we go into better and better results. And as we start scaling, the results will start going up again, okay? The cost per result. So have that in mind. But let Facebook optimize, and then we move into creative testing. of a Facebook advertiser or a social media advertiser is to go after creative testing. That's where the game is played. That's where the big dogs are playing. They're not playing at the targeting level. They're not tweaking their ads, trying to squeeze an extra couple of leads. No, the main point is that once you have enough data, you want to be testing creatives all the time. And that's what we do at ScaleDriven.com when we're scaling campaigns for clients. That's what we do when we teach, our students how to do this. We go ahead and tell them, hey, listen, you need to be testing creatives. We need to be testing creatives every week, every couple of weeks, because at that point, there's no one else to target, right? If you think about it, you have to target everyone. So there's no one else to target. You just need to keep the creatives fresh and the angles fresh so that you can go ahead and keep on getting people into your funnel. Okay, so these are the 3 stages of an advertising campaign. You want to move through stages as fast as possible, and you want to keep on collecting data, keep on spending. And as I always say, advertising gets better through time. If you keep on advertising, if you don't start and stop your campaigns, you will start getting better results. Why? Because A, people will see you more, right? And that creates trust, provided that your product is good. And number 2, mechanically, that's how the Facebook pixel works, okay? So I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to check us out, go to ScaleDriven.com to learn more, and rate, subscribe, share, comment below. Share this with somebody that needs to see this, and I'll see you guys on the next piece of content. Thank you so much. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.